Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 5 of the Conversion Therapy Podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jordan.
And I'm your other co-host, Justin.
We're going to dive into some political / current events topics, just like always. Yeah, so let's dive right in.
All right, so first one.
Oh, you're going to hawk this for me? Okay,
Well, I thought you paused.
Go ahead.
I thought you paused. You were like, okay.
Go ahead. It's okay.
Yeah, I know it's okay. It's all right. It's okay. I'm so much better without you. Ashley Tisdale. So the first kind of reintroduction of a topic we're going to go into is the whole Kyle Rittenhouse case. I mean, I feel like dates are necessary. I did this last time too when we filmed. So it's the 14th today. And so far there isn't a verdict yet. I believe the case has been going on for like
9 days.
Yeah, 9 days. And they don't do any like updates on the weekends. It's more like a Monday through Friday thing. I guess their weekend is their break or something like that. But yeah, it's been an interesting case, to say the least. I don't even know where to start with, like, I was like really because like, Kate, I wasn't like confident in terms of like, oh, he's definitely gonna get like life in prison. I was confident in terms of like, bitch, this is the law, and according to the law, he's going to get life in prison. But I don't think that's gonna happen now.
Well, okay. Well, the thing is okay. So a quick rundown of what's happened in the trial so far is, so there's been testimony from a number of people. The prosecution has Did the prosecution rest?
I think they both did. I think I just read something that the defense did too.
So they had a number of different people doing testimony. They had one of the fellows who was shot and obviously not killed. They had the coroner. They had
the brothers of the business.
Yeah, the brothers of the business, who stated that they didn't ask anybody to guard their business, even though Rittenhouse and I think his brother is denying it, saying that he got a call.
Yeah.
They had there was another big testimony. Oh, the fellow that was patrolling the businesses, like kind of not like with them.
Oh, the police officer.
Yeah, or no, he was in the.
Maybe this was a different one then.
Yeah, maybe, but he said that they were asking him about one of the fellows who was killed, and they said, what was your opinion of him? He said, he was a bumbling idiot. He said, in your opinion, was he a threat? And they said, absolutely. He said, absolutely not.
Oh, is this the first guy?
I think so.
That Rittenhouse killed?
Yes.
Well, I can't even say that Rittenhouse killed because they were the only deaths of the fucking event.
So he was basically like, this is a guy that was out there doing the same thing that Kyle Rittenhouse was doing, but he could still testify to the fact that this guy was harmless.
Yeah.
And also worth mentioning, this dude who was patrolling, the same guy, he said that, so he had a gun, but he said the only thing he had to do was yell at people. He didn't even have to push people. Yet Rittenhouse had to kill 2 people.
Exactly. And then I don't know if y'all have seen it. If you have, bear with me, but there was a moment where Rittenhouse started crying with no tears. And the judge holy fuck. This judge needs to be relieved of his fucking duties for the rest of his life. He never should have even had license to do what he's doing. He's fully, like, as a judge, you have to, like, one of the main rules as a judge is to remain unbiased in any given situation until a verdict is reached. And even then, you're still unbiased. You're just reading the verdict and you're reacting to the situation. You never act in or for a party of the trial. And so this judge is literally like Kyle Rittenhouse's defense attorney. Like, he called a 10-minute break after Rittenhouse started crying. He attacked the prosecution for trying to bring up valuable evidence that
Okay. But okay, I'm going to for that one, I'm going to stop you because, okay, so I think that what the prosecution, and for people who don't know, the judge is stating that the prosecution was trying to attack Rittenhouse for his right to remain silent. Is this what we're talking about? Is this what you're talking about when he started yelling at him, when the judge started yelling at him?
Oh, no. I'm talking about like no, you're good. I'm talking about the video evidence. I think it was like 2 weeks prior to the event where Rittenhouse said he was going to kill protesters.
Yeah, when he said that, what did he say? We don't have non-lethal. Did you see that one?
And like the judge was like, you can't do this. This has no relation. Bitch, this is 2 weeks. 2 fucking weeks prior to this event going on. This is purely like, tell me you don't know what motives are without telling me you don't know what motives are. Like, that is a pure connection to this trial. And so prosecution brought it up initially at the beginning of the trial and was shut down by the judge. And then they tried bringing it up again during the trial and again was shut down by the judge. Like, what? Like, this isn't just like hearsay shit. This is caught on video.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is pure evidence of Rittenhouse saying this. And so and then in like the middle of one of the days, the fucking judge's phone went off and it was the song that played during Trump's inauguration. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? And like everyone stopped and the judge was just like, yeah, but no, the judge didn't actually like dance like that.
Okay, so two things. When you told me that, like, I couldn't believe it. Like, that's fucked up.
Did you watch the video?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God.
But the thing is, that's fun. There's two things. So that's obviously wrong. But the second thing is like, do you know how unprofessional and discrediting that is for, like, as a judge in a court,
bitch,
to not have their
phone on silent?
Off?
Exactly.
Like, this isn't like college where like your phone goes off and it's like, excuse me, sir, like, can you go in the hallway? Like, you're a fucking judge in a murder trial.
Exactly.
Holy fuck.
Like, are you kidding me? I fucking had my phone go off in like grade 8 social studies class, and my ringtone was of me singing. I was singing in my own ringtone. Can you imagine if that happened in a fucking courtroom? Imagine if I was on trial, potentially being sentenced to life in prison, and all you hear is, your phone is ringing, phone is ringing. Like, how?
Did you seriously have that ringtone?
Do you want to know what it was?
What?
Okay. Your phone is ringing, probably your family. Your phone is ringing, might be one of your friends. And then it pauses, and then it goes, da-na-na-na-na. It was so funny. It went off in the middle of 13. It went off in the middle of social studies class, and I forgot that it had to pause, and then me doing, na-na-na. So it paused, and I was like, and then it went to the like second part, and I started laughing, and like everyone started laughing, and our teacher was like literally stood up and he was like, what the hell is that? He's like, who is that? So I was like, sorry, that's my ringtone. He was like, who the hell do you have singing? Like, you need to switch that ringtone. Who the hell is that? They should stop singing. I was like, that's me. They're like, oh. I was like, yeah.
So the fact that you're 13 partially excuses you for that, but that's still super lame.
It was just so fucking funny. I was
kind of hoping you were gonna be like, oh, I was 18. I would have been like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And I was 18 in my grade 8 social studies class.
No, but but you know what I'm saying. But okay, so what I was gonna say is, okay, so no, I lost my train of thought now. But okay, about the judge. Okay, so the thing is I will give him credit for is when he, where like, I think it was day 1 when he dismissed that one juror. Oh, that was the right thing to do. I'll give him credit. No,
I'm not giving him credit for that. That's following protocol. Do you know how it works with, like, so they have 20 like jurors to start. Yeah. I don't know if they've selected the 12. So they had 20 to start with. It was 11 women and 9 men.
Yeah.
And then they have to basically like dwindle it down to 12 to make the final, like, what's it called? Verdict. And like, you have to do that. It's like the littlest things will take you off of jury selection. And so I'm not going to give him credit for that, because like that's the basic thing to do. Anyone in their right mind would do that. I can't give him credit for that.
Okay, but based on his actions after that, would you be surprised had he not turned a blind eye to that? I wouldn't have been surprised.
Oh no.
So,
but I mean, like that, like he would have probably gotten penalties from like the state that he's representing.
The judges are untouchable. Like, it's a tenured position where you have job security. Nothing happens to you.
Oh, well, probably not. He would be what other fucking people in power be, where he's like laid off, except he's paid twice as much as he made before.
No, the only 2 jobs in like that I can think of that you are basically untouchable is if you're a professor at a university, a tenured professor, or if you're a judge. They really can't do anything to you. You're kind of untouchable, which makes it so hard to become one. But like, even think about like the things that made him discharge this guy. So it was hearsay. So it was a person who was escorting the juror to his vehicle after I think it must have been day 2 of the trial then, because
Yeah,
he was
it was really early.
but he was like, so this guy, it got back to the judge, and you could tell when he was kind of dismissing him that the defense was kind of like, well, like, because he doesn't want to tell the court what the joke actually. So for people who don't know, apparently this juror told a joke about the Jacob Blake shooting when he was being walked to his vehicle after one of the days of the trial. And it was brought back to the judge, and the judge brought it up in court and ended up dismissing him over it. But he asked the juror if he was comfortable restating the joke, and the juror said no. So the defense was kind of like, well, if he doesn't want to repeat it, then it makes everyone assume the worst, but we don't actually know if it's worth discharging this person over. So, right. But like, it doesn't, like, in my eyes, like, it doesn't really matter what the joke was. And then when he was kind of like, well, we're going to dismiss you, the person was like, well, I don't know why it has a bearing on this case. Bitch, the whole reason we were there is because of the Jacob. That's the whole reason we're here. But
exactly.
Yet this juror is like, oh, I don't understand the connection. And did you hear the guy's voice when he was saying it too? Like, he sounded like a fucking hillbilly.
I'm assuming he was white.
He's like, yeah, oh yeah, you can tell by his voice. He's like, well, I don't know.
I don't know why this matter. God, they always have the fucking worst voices. Holy shit. Anyway. But yeah, I don't really know, because I mean, like I mentioned this before in our last episode, but they estimated that the trial would take 2 weeks. I don't know if that's like 14 business days or like, Monday through Friday days, or that's literally just like a 2-week span.
But you know what? I when I was updating on this, they said that one of the people on day 4 or 5 said that she doesn't think that this is going to get done within 2 weeks. She said that it could, but she said based on the way things are going, she doesn't think it's going to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not probably going to be much more than that. But I remember what I was going to say earlier. Okay, so when I was doing my research on YouTube, I
sorry.
What?
Sorry.
What?
You sound like a 65-year-old. Like, when I was doing my research on Facebook and YouTube. Sorry,
okay,
continue.
Fine, I'll sound more like a millennial. When I was doing my research on Reddit.
When I was doing my research on Twitter.
So I noticed that like the comments and like the likes, dislikes are so right-winged on all the videos relating to this. Like, so like any sort of, I noticed that, like, so maybe it's me because I wasn't watching like Fox News and all this shit, but I was watching like mostly left-wing news reports on this, and it was like, and I've never seen videos like this where it'd be like 500 likes, 3,000 dislikes.
Oh, I have.
And then you go to the comments and it's like, oh yeah, the media spinning it this way. And I'm like, holy shit, like this is all fucking right wing.
Like that's the reaction to like Trudeau. Like anytime CTV or CBC or like somebody shares something of Trudeau, that's the like to dislike ratio. YouTube removed dislikes. Did you see that? Like
starting when?
It's already been done. I literally looked and I was like, wait, why can't I see? So instead of like, instead of saying how much it is, it just says dislike with like the thumbs down button.
So this must have been done with like in the last 2 days.
It's been like, I think it's been like 4 days.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what? I literally thought that it was just me. Because I
don't like that.
No, me neither. Bitch, I would like scave off watching scary videos because they would have a lot of dislikes. So it would just be like a weird jump scare. I can't do that now. I don't know if they're real.
That's always been one of my criticisms of Facebook, is how you can't dislike something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't read like the statement, if they put out a statement or anything like explaining why, but yeah, no, I mean, I still see like the comments. There's like 500 likes and then there's like 6,000 comments about like, oh, like he's gonna get off and like he's our hero. And I think, okay, full T, I think it's just like, I don't know how to explain this, but right-wing people, they're so much more adamant on like certain platforms of social media. For example, 100%. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. And it's like a lot of them are just like, oh, like look at left wing, like they're not getting many. No, it's not that left wing media is like bad because they're getting a weird like to dislike ratio. It's just that Republicans are so adamant on like stating their incorrect opinions on said videos, and they always go, because like honestly, like left wingers, I mean they do, but definitely not as much as right wingers. They do not watch Fox News. Like right wingers are so like glued to CNN and
Really?
like MSNBC 100%.
Why? Because they want to yell at their TVs?
Yes. And I mean like Fox News is like, can you think of any other right wing like news outlets?
No, actually,
I
to be
mean,
honest
I
with
think
you.
MSNBC has like a Republican or like a couple Republicans on their
So a lot of the research I did was MSNBC, and you can tell within 30 seconds they're left
oh
wing.
yeah, 100%. But like they have like casters that are Republican that are like on their show, like a lot. But yeah, I think that's just, I don't know, that's just a reason why. But it is really funny to me because like I'll watch the video to grab updates, and then I'll just get extremely frustrated because I'll go like directly to the comments and see like what everyone's thinking or what people are saying. But like, I don't know, it's just really fucking weird. Like they are brainwashed into thinking that the first guy had a gun, which he did not. He was completely unarmed. They were brainwashed into thinking the first guy was the one with the skateboard and the one trying to curb stomp him, which that's wrong. That was the second guy. The first guy, again, was unarmed and had a fucking soda can. They're brainwashed into thinking that everyone in Wisconsin can open carry, which is wrong. As stated in the previous episode, you have to be 18 years or older. And even if Rittenhouse lives in, sorry, not Chicago, Illinois, if you own a firearm in Illinois, you need a FOID. You need to be 21 to be that FOID. If you get pulled over with a gun in Wisconsin and they ask for your ID and it shows that you are even 18 or anywhere less than 21, you will be arrested. That is illegal.
He says that in his cross-examination too. So he talks about how he didn't have a FOID and he needs a FOID. So 21 is the age?
Yes, if you're from Illinois, yes. It differs by state, but if you're from Illinois, you need to be 21.
Okay.
And like, cause like, even if you're in a different, like, even if you're in a separate state that says, oh, here you only need to be this age, you are, if you show them your ID is going to have your home address. You're from Illinois. That means that the card that you have has to be relevant to Illinois state laws, which you need to be 21 for. Yeah. It is different, obviously, with open carry, because that's just like in public open carry. That's different depending on state. But even if Rittenhouse was not 18 yet, that's completely illegal. Yeah.
So, okay. So two things that I want to go to is, okay, the prosecution. Okay. So what do you think about the prosecuting attorney?
Thank goodness you brought this up, because I actually forgot my point, and I was like thinking, I was like, wait, I had a point that I was good, but thank goodness he brought this up. So I don't think he's the best option, full T. I don't really think he's doing that great of a job.
I don't think he's doing a good job.
Yeah. So he, when he had Rittenhouse on the stand, he was questioning him. He brought up, what was it? You know how like the whole, oh, if you play like violent video games, it'll result in you.
That was pissing me off, because he's like, first he brings up his fucking, what's that stupid app? TikTok app. And did you see that part where he's like, is this your user tag? Doors for whores? And then he's like, yes, it is. And he's like, but I'm like, okay, like that makes him sound stupid, but like, why does that have any bearing?
Exactly.
But the thing is in his avatar, he's holding his fucking AR-17 or right?
Yeah.
And so he attacked him. So when he got, so in my opinion, when he had Rittenhouse on the stand, he should have tore him up.
Exactly.
Okay? But they're saying, like, and I agree with this, but in the legal analysis, they're saying that he didn't really land a punch. So the main things he attacked him for, okay, what do you think the laws were? And even the judge stopped him and he's like, look, just so you know, what he does and doesn't know what the laws are kind of have no bearing, because if you don't know a law exists, but you still violate it, you're still responsible for it. So like, this is kind of useless.
Yeah.
So there's that. So he basically attacked him for, why did you choose the gun you chose? Like, why didn't you just choose a pistol? Why didn't you just choose this? He's trying to show that like you wanted to kill people. So there was that point that he attacked him for. And the only other really thing he attacked him for is like, you play Call of Duty and your job in that game is to kill people.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, like that, but that is such a disconnect. Like, do you know how many people that don't kill people play those games? right? And it's like, do you remember back, like, and you might actually be too young for this, but when GTA was first getting
That was the
popular,
nicest thing you've ever said to me, Jordan.
I've said
I
this,
don't
I
think
said,
I will ever say you're too young for this, but thank you.
shut up. But when GTA first came out, and there was this one guy that committed a homicide, and it was found that he played GTA, they were like, "Oh, well, this game's too violent. You go around killing people." Like that. This has been a thing for a while.
Trump literally just said that he thinks the reason that crime rates are so high is because of the amount of kids that play violent video games. And it's so fucking ironic because I read these comments on the prosecution's analysis or like questioning on Rittenhouse. And some of these people that are like, oh, okay, sorry. Some of these right wingers that are like, oh, why is he asking this? This has no relevance to what he played as a kid. Bitch, you're the same person that defended Donald Trump and agreed with him when he did the same fucking thing. So you're in a bias, and the only reason you're disagreeing with it now is because it goes against who you're fucking defending. And it pisses me off because, like, yes, it has no correlation whatsoever to what he did. Like, there's no fucking correlation. That shouldn't have even been a question on the list. Nothing. But, like, baby, don't be hypocritical because I'm going to call your ass out for it. But no, yeah, the prosecution, they should have chose somebody else.
Yeah, they should have. And even when when I kind of talked about earlier is when the judge stopped him, because he's basically, so the prosecution started asking Rittenhouse about, like, so you haven't said anything until now. Like, you've had the ability to listen to everyone else say what happened, and now you're chiming in. Okay. And then so the judge stopped it and kind of talked to him about, like, you can't, this is an amendment right. His right to silence is an amendment right. You can't talk about this. So he was kind of like reprimanded him that way. And then he went back to it later during the cross exam. And then the judge stopped it and started reaming him out. And he didn't even, okay, here's my problem with it. Okay. So I actually think the judge is right in this sense.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
In this sense,
he's right. But where the judge made a big mistake, and I even heard a legal analyst talking about this. So the first time he reprimanded him for it, he had the jury leave. The second time when he yelled at him, he didn't even ask the jury to leave.
Yeah.
And this legal analyst is saying that the jury, even like subconsciously, they take into account how the judge interacts with each side.
I think that was deliberate.
You think it was deliberate?
Absolutely.
So they're saying that they're going to remember that the judge fucking reamed this guy out. And the thing that I like is how the prosecuting attorney reacted. Like, he let the judge yell, and then he's like, can I react now? Like, he's like, can I respond?
Can I react now, or do I have to use my right to silence?
But you know, one thing I will say that the defense said, and this could have been a thing. So the defense, the second time, the defense said, I think that he is trying to get a mistrial. Like, he is doing this on purpose to get a mistrial.
Yeah.
But then he said that if this happens again, I will file a motion for a mistrial with prejudice, which means that Rittenhouse gets off and he can't be recharged.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, fully. I think it's fully deliberate. I think something is happening with this fucking judge, because he should not be on this case whatsoever. And it's like a full embarrassment that he is even representing this case, because he's like, what, Wisconsin's longest like running judge or something like that. I read, I don't know. I read somewhere that he'd been in this business for longer than anyone else in his field. Okay. And which makes sense because he looks like a fucking rotten prune. But like, holy shit. Like,
did you see when he was yelling at the prosecutor when he was like, he's like, why didn't you come to me with this first? When you came to me with a motion earlier, I granted it. And then the prosecutor's like, no, you didn't. And then he's like, oh yeah, that was the defense. But anyways, you should have come to me first. Like, you don't even know what's going on.
Literally, he did the same thing when they brought up what the fuck's it called? I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but he did the same thing when he was trying to bring up the fact that Rittenhouse said that he was going to kill protesters. And then the judge was like, why didn't you bring this up before? And then the guy's like, I did. Like, I brought this up at the very beginning of the trial, and you dismissed it for no reason whatsoever. I just, yeah, that.
The one thing that I don't even know if this helps the trial, but like I really liked is how petty the prosecutor was being when he was like cross-examining Rittenhouse. Like he'd kind of say part of his question. Rittenhouse would be like, no, blah, blah, blah. He'd be like, sir, how about you let me finish my question before answering, and I will let you answer before I ask you a question.
And then Rittenhouse started crying.
Okay, let's talk about that. That was fake.
Are you kidding me? Yes.
Okay, but you know, okay.
And I ran. Okay. And then there's a judge. We're gonna take a 10-minute recess.
And here are my reasons. Okay, here are my reasons. Obviously, I'm gonna preface this by saying you can't get inside a person's head. So I can't say with absolute certainty that that was fake. Okay, but here's my reasons for believing it's fake. Okay, so one, no tears. Okay, second, I've never seen anybody cry like that before.
I was gonna say that if you didn't, so
I'm trying to be as factual as possible. Like I've never seen like that look like somebody who knew that their future depended on crying in that moment.
Yes.
Okay. And then here's my number one reason for believing that that's fake. So at the end, when the judge speaks and says that we're taking a 10-minute recess, that look, and go back and watch this.
Exactly. He went away completely.
That look he gives to the judge, the look says, is he buying it?
Yeah.
It's like a break.
He looked at the judge before the judge even fucking talked.
Yes. So he breaks character and he looks at the judge like, okay, is this landing?
He's like,
yes. That's exactly what he did.
And then when the judge calls a break, in an instant, he stops. Literally instantly. It's just,
But I will say, I think that because the judge helped him sell it, I think the jury is going to buy it.
Oh, 100%.
And I think that that's the most significant thing to happen thus far in the trial. It doesn't matter if we bought it or not. I think that he sold that he thought that he was going to die.
Yeah. I thought this guy that was unarmed when I was holding a gun was going to kill me.
And if you notice too, I think this is another thing that kind of shows that he's a phony is you notice how his disposition is so different when he's being being examined by his defense versus the
prosecution. Yeah.
Yeah. Like his demeanor completely changed. Like it was kind of like, and I mean, I think this is normal to a sense where like, I don't know, like it's like, you know, that your attorney is obviously not hostile and the other one is, but like it was, I don't know, it was weird. It was more than the normally that you'd see in a trial.
Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you think there's gonna be like riots if he's found to be innocent?
Well, I mean,
not innocent, but if he's found to do this
guilty.
off self-defense, yes.
Well, okay. Let's talk about, okay, so I'll answer that. And then you brought up another good point. So, okay, so I don't know, because think about it in this sense. So the reason this event occurred was in reaction to Jacob Blake's shooting.
Yeah.
So is there then going to be a reaction to the reaction of Jacob Blake's shooting?
Yeah.
Maybe. But so self-defense. So there was one legal analyst I saw that's saying that the testimony of the fellow that was shot and a lot of the video that they have kind of shows the way that the people who are charging Rittenhouse, they're claiming that they were trying to like, so their mentality was there's an active shooter. I need to disarm him. Okay. So they're saying if that is established in the court, then Rittenhouse can't claim self-defense. If the attitudes of the people that charged him were there's this guy shooting people, we need to take this gun away from him.
I know that the guy, I think his name is Gage Grosskreutz or whatever, he was the one that was injured that testified. Mm-hmm. He said that. He said we thought there was an active shooter and we were trying to diffuse the situation.
But apparently that means you can't use self-defense.
Oh,
so his whole thing is gone.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so here's the thing, and that's the other thing I want to. So, quick thing about the cross-examination of Rittenhouse too is they're saying that the most significant thing in terms of his defense that occurred during that is because this is where he could have buried himself, was when the prosecution asked him, like, did you intend to kill people? And he asked him that like 6 times. He's like, you used deadly force, and Rittenhouse is like, yes, I used deadly force. Were you intending to kill him? No, I was intending to stop him. Were you intending to kill him? No, I was intending to stop the threat. Like Rittenhouse was obviously practiced that like a lot of times.
Oh,
because
100%.
he got that right.
100%. But I don't know what's going to happen with this, dude. Like, if we're going off of legality, you cannot argue self-defense. You cannot. Like, even a state term, you cannot argue self-defense. You have video evidence of basically everything that happened in the situation. You cannot argue self-defense. Like, in any situation whatsoever. If you're a bystander and you don't even know what's going on, but say you're at the protests, and you don't know that this specific event is happening, but say you're like a block away, and all of a sudden you hear gunshots. Guess what's gonna go through your head? That there's an active shooter on there, and your life is in danger. So now what you have to do is what Rittenhouse is claiming that he did, which he did not. Well, he did in his terms, is to eliminate the threat.
Mm-hmm.
Which means either to take him down, to kill him, as he's a shooter, and you are defending your life.
What was the fellow's name that they had on there that was shot and not killed?
It was Gage Grosskreutz or something like that. Gross.
Yeah, Grosskreutz. So okay, so the thing about him is that I think the defense. So did you see the cross examination of him? I think the defense kind of got him good.
I saw the questioning from the prosecution, some of the defense, but I don't know if I.
So they said to him, oh wait, no, sorry, I'm getting confused. So Jason, whatever, the other guy that was out there patrolling with a gun, Jason Lakowski. Okay, he's the guy that said that the fellow that he killed wasn't a threat.
Mm-hmm.
So the cross examination got him pretty good. So they said when Rittenhouse was running down the street, I'm pretty sure this was him. But there was somebody, I'm pretty sure it was Jason that they got this with. But he said when he was running down the street, he stopped him and he said, "What happened?" Like after Rittenhouse had committed one of the shootings, and he said, "I need help." And they said, did you shoot someone? And he says that Rittenhouse said, "No, but I need help." So then when they were cross-examining him, the defense said to him, like, "Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Are you sure that he didn't say, 'I shot someone and I need help'? Because that seems like something someone in that situation would say." And Lakowski said, "Well, no, I can't fully recall." And part of the reason that is credible is because apparently before he got cross-examined and he was questioned on this, he had to look at the transcript of the interview that he gave with the FBI or the police or whatever to recall it. So that's a problem too.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, when he did his interview with the FBI, how long after the event was it?
I don't know that.
Because, I mean, this happened a year and a half ago. So, I mean, actually, I take that back. That's not really, I don't think that's as much of a problem to me as it is to you. Because this is a year and a half ago. Like, yes, this is a huge event that, like, you would remember quite a bit of. But, if you didn't have this case for a year and a half, I would probably need to look back at the same transcript I did as well.
But wouldn't you think that would be like, if you're the person that experienced that, wouldn't that be like a seminal moment? Like, I feel like that's something you would remember.
I mean, if this is something that's regular to you, no. If this is something that you've done before, if this is something that it is part of events that you've done before and you do in a regular term.
Yeah, but if a person's killed people and you're interacting with that person right after, that's not something that I'm assuming that he's experienced all the time.
I mean, he said, "Do you need help?" And then this isn't like a full admission here. You know what I mean? Like this is like obviously right after the first.
No, it's not an admission, but the only thing that's called to question here is Lakowski's recollection of events, right? That's the only thing why this is relevant.
Yeah, which will be clouded. If it's been a year and a half, let's say, I don't know, obviously we don't know when this FBI like questioning happened, but in my mind, I would think that it would be soon after the event. So let's say it was a month after the questioning. So that's September of 2020. And so this started November 2021. That's a year and 2 months. That's a long time for like time to go by and you to forget a lot of stuff. So I guarantee you in a lot of cases where this happens, a lot of people have to look back at their previous transcripts to familiarize themselves with the situation.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
I would think that because I feel like if I was in a situation like that, even if that's a like, yes, that is obviously like a big event where like a shooting happens. That's going to be a day that you remember for the rest of your lives. But like, there are specifics to that day you can't remember happening. For example, bitch, we had someone. When I was in high school, we had someone with a knife in the fucking building threatening to kill people. I don't remember the specifics of the conversations that I had with people. I remember I got pissed off at my foods teacher because he was a fucking idiot. I remember we were hidden behind like the display sort of thing where he does his cooking, and we were all scared of shit. And I was messaging my mom. I can't remember what I messaged her. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like specifics. Like, I remember what happened. I remember like that I messaged her. I don't remember what I messaged her. I remember that we hid there. I don't remember like who I was sitting next to or like what we were talking about to each other, who
But
cried.
let's say someone was stabbed. Don't you think that your recollection of events would be probably a
But
bit?
I wasn't talking to the because like Rittenhouse, or sorry, not Rittenhouse, but the guy that they were cross-examining, he didn't talk to the person that was stabbed. He talked to Rittenhouse. So then I would like
Okay, fine,
in
but
this
let's say
situation, I would be talking to the killer. So I would
yes.
be talking to the stabber. Of
But
course,
what I'm
there were parts of that that would remember. But like honestly, like you're fully like your mind is clouded because like apparently I don't know that he stabbed somebody because to him Rittenhouse didn't admit that he killed somebody yet or shot someone. So, hey, did you stab someone? No, is what I'm thinking. Or I mean obviously I don't know the specifics of their conversation. I'm just going off of hearsay because I wasn't there and they don't
Mhm.
have film
And
like
this
they
is
don't have
tough to
audio of them
say,
there.
and this is tough to say, but what I'm saying is, okay, so like, was anyone stabbed in that situation or no? Obviously not.
Oh, at my school?
Hmm.
No.
Okay. So what I'm saying is let's say you spoke to the fellow, like if you spoke to the fellow who was running around with a knife, okay,
Mhm.
and then he said no, I didn't stab anybody, but then you found out that he did. I bet you your recollection of what you said to your mom, what you said to whoever, would be stronger than it is now. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't know if I would agree with that because I feel like what my mind would be focusing on in that situation would be my conversation with the guy that potentially did the stabbing. Because then what I would think is like, wait, he told me no. He said he didn't stab anyone and he stabbed someone. Because obviously someone's sitting over there with like a knife wound in their chest or whatever. You know what I mean? That I wouldn't really remember so much about like other shit that's happening because to me, that doesn't matter. Because to me now, I know that if he's being investigated, I'm a witness. And I'm going on, like, I had a conversation with this guy, so they're probably going to ask me to testify. So the conversations that I have with my mom, my friends, the foods teacher, that's not going to remember, that's not going to play much like of a role to me because that doesn't matter in the situation. I know that like I don't know, my mindset is going to be that I'm testifying, so I need to remember accurate information that can be useful against this person that stabbed someone.
Yeah, but I understand that rationally that you might think of it that way, but I think that your subconscious and like the things that you remember are more like involuntary than that. I think that like you know what I mean? Like for example, like like the old classic of when you meet somebody you forget their name within a minute. That's literally because your brain is like this is not important. Like what is important right now is to show that like my disposition, like I'm happy to meet you and then I'm social. So I don't think like we can make decisions like that.
I'm like trying to think back into like places in my life where I feel like if something like is more like how do I explain this? Like let's say you have some sort of trauma. Obviously this would be fucking traumatizing. You have a fucking person that stabbed someone that is like right in front of you and you're talking to them and they could have stabbed you, bitch. They could have killed you. And so like you're more prone to remember stuff directly relating to that situation. I feel like the aspects that you're not prone to remember are the aspects that don't really relate that happened on that day. For example, like messaging my mom or like talking to my friends or the foods teacher. I feel like it would be more like related to the conversation you had with this person, how you were feeling in the moment when you were talking to him, how you felt after you found out that he actually did stab somebody, who he stabbed. Like I feel like but I mean even if like obviously if you have a conversation or like an interview with someone right after it happened, you're going to remember more details of the event then and there than like a year and 2 months later.
Oh, 100%.
So
I
I
completely
mean,
agree with that.
it makes sense for him to look back at the transcript and be like, okay, wait, this is coming back to me now.
Okay,
Or
but
it's kind of
okay,
like when you look at a picture, like
okay,
if
but here's the thing. Okay, so fine, and that's fine. But okay, but even like another aspect of this that's worth mentioning is, okay, so let's say you didn't remember events about this, okay, but would you not then be able to recall your interview with the FBI? Like, isn't that a big event that you would like if I
Wait,
was
what do you
ever
mean?
like if okay, so if I was involved in some sort of if I was involved in the Rittenhouse thing
Hmm.
and I was then called in by the police or the FBI and I was questioned, right? Like that's a big thing. That's not something that happens to everybody.
Oh
So
yeah.
I feel like that interview wouldn't be something I would probably forget.
I mean, this interview isn't like two or three questions. This is like multiple questions where you have like you're giving as much information as you can from that time. And they're
Mm-hmm.
asking you like every question in the book that relates to this trial or relates to him potentially being arrested. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's many questions. If obviously if this was just like a 2 to 3 question interview, you'd be more prone to remember more of that interview. But like you're being asked so many questions, which I guarantee you, this guy that's being cross-examined, he probably remembered some of his answers, but there was probably some things that like obviously like he's not going to remember the full specifics of, or maybe even questions he can't remember being asked about until he looks at the transcript.
Yeah, possibly.
But I love how this was supposed to be like a like a what's it called like a recap of the trial or like what's happened, and it's been 41 minutes.
Well, I don't think it necessarily had to even be a recap. It was just kind of like diving into it, right? And then
Yeah,
like we got into
I
the
didn't expect it to be that. Like I didn't expect it to
I
be
told
like this
you off
good, this
I
juicy.
I told you off camera this was a big one. Like I
Oh
found a
yeah.
lot of stuff to talk about. And initially, remember when you brought this up to do as a topic,
Yes.
and I was like I don't know, maybe we should just wait till the verdict comes
I
out.
was like so sad. I was like, bitch, you better take that back right now, bitch. We're doing this motherfucking topic. But because I knew this would be good because like anything that's like major news and like is the span like for example we've talked about this off camera when we're gonna well if we're still doing this podcast in what 3 years and it's election time, we're gonna be talking about the election for
Yeah,
we're gonna have
it's probably going
so
to be at
much
least
content.
it's probably going to be at least 2 episodes just on the
Oh,
election.
100%.
Yeah, yeah,
And so we're gonna have like a lot of content with that. But yeah, with this, it's nice because like this is something that's spanning over the course of 2 to 3 weeks, potentially more. And so like we kind of can get to like, and it's always like the stuff coming from it is like definitely like huge things to talk about.
yeah.
But
Should-
yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what the verdict is gonna be. Um, it's looking like he's gonna get off scot-free, which pisses me the fuck off because my dear.
Did you also see that the prosecution dropped like the going out after curfew charge
Yeah.
because that one cop that was up there was like, well, I put it out there, but like it wasn't necessarily like an official curfew.
Yeah.
And then the prosecution was like, okay, well, we're not going to spend time fighting this, so we'll just drop it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I don't know. I guess we'll probably come back to it next episode and see if there's been any major updates.
There could be a verdict by the next time. Well, actually, we're probably going to film pretty quick, so there probably
Oh
won't
yeah,
be a
that's true.
verdict by then. Yeah.
That's true.
Now we're going to move on to the Astroworld Catastrophe. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, there was a music festival in, was it Florida,
Um,
Texas,
Houston, Texas. Yeah.
Houston? Okay, and there was a bunch of different. It was a hip hop festival. Drake was on the bill. So was Travis Scott. So basically, what happened was there. Basically, in a nutshell, health and safety protocols weren't really in place, and they considered it a mass casualty event. The police did. 9 people have died as of 2 days ago.
4 days ago.
4 days ago now. Okay. Didn't the ninth person die like 2 days ago? Or was it
They
4?
said they might have come out with a statement 2 days ago, but
Okay.
this article says a ninth victim died on November 10th, according to her family's attorney, or Jesus Christ, attorney, after previously being declared brain dead. Some people, oh yeah, that's it. Sorry, I'm reading more, but yeah, that I assume that it's probably just like the statement that came out maybe 2 days
Okay.
ago regarding it.
Okay. So yeah, basically, I guess there was and I personally, I've obviously never been in one this badly before, but like I've been in similar situations where I've been afraid. People were basically crushed to death, and they were trampled,
Yeah.
and there was just too much pressure, everyone trying to rush the stage. So personally, like, I've been in situations before where like I'll be near the front on the floor of a concert, and like I'll literally, like, I get claustrophobic, so like I won't be able to breathe properly. And I've been before where I'll be like, I've been close to the front, thank God, where I've been like, okay, like, hey, security, and they'll like pull you out. So I know it's super scary,
Yeah.
super scary. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on here. I mean, I saw video there. A lot of people are saying that as soon as gates opened, like, things went wrong
Gates
because
ain't even like in some of the videos, the gates weren't even opened.
the gates, yes, and people
Like
were like, they didn't even go through security. Like,
exactly.
they straight up, the
You
whole
just ran
stampede
through the
ran
gates,
through the gates. Yeah.
pushed the gates over, jumped up on them. People were falling. People were getting trampled. Like, so
Did you?
I read, I
Yeah.
mentioned this before off camera, but I read that I don't know if it was Travis Scott himself or his management team, or maybe even the management team of the festival, that were given a heads up that this was a good possibility that this was going to happen. And like they did nothing about it at all to prevent it. Nothing.
Did you hear about the security guard that quit like a few days before because he's like, we I didn't feel prepared enough. Like, they gave us enough training.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they I think that okay, here's my main concerns with it is, okay, so the concert continued for 40 minutes after it was considered a mass casualty event
Yeah.
by the police.
Mhm.
And so Travis Scott, obviously, I think this is mostly for legal reasons, but he's saying that he didn't know. He's obviously
I
saying
call
he didn't
fucking
know.
bullshit.
I call bullshit too, for a bunch of reasons. One reason being, how could it not have been communicated to him
You
by
have videos.
somebody
You have videos of people literally running up to security, running up like very close
on
to him
stage?
on
On
stage
stage.
and screaming at him. You have videos of people on ambulances, on top of fucking ambulances. Like, baby, why do you think the ambulances are there? You think they're just strobing lights for people to dance
And
along to? No.
and that's my second point to why I believe that he knew, is because there was 2 points where he stopped the show. He stopped the show when he first saw the first ambulance. He's like, okay, whoa, ambulance. And then there was like a bunch of times, like there was one time where he stopped the show and he's like, he honestly probably did this for personal reassurance, but he's like, put your middle finger in the air if you're doing okay. So like, I mean, I guess artists do that a lot during shows, but I don't know. Like, it seemed like he knew that there was, at the very least, that there was like multiple instances of something going on in the crowd. And those people who climbed the stage that were saying stop the show, they said that they were laughed at by like by the crews, by like the cameraman. They said Travis Scott was telling them to get the hell off the stage. Yeah.
Yeah, and like people are like, okay, I'm not giving no fucking credit to Travis Scott. Fuck you. People are literally saying like, oh, you have 50,000 people, like around 50,000 people attending this event. And like, how is he supposed to know? Are you motherfucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Not only is there people that are climbing up on the stage, there have been many instances with other celebrities that are doing concerts when they see someone look like they're gonna pass out or need water. And they're like, stop the show, hold up. Or they see someone look like they're getting sexually assaulted. And they're like, bitch, stop the show, security.
Yeah.
Like, are you out of your fucking mind? Out of your mind.
Did you see the one point where he stopped the show where he's like, hey, security, get in there. Get in there. There's someone in trouble. There was one point where he did that. But what I was going to say, and I talked about this off camera too. Okay. And this would be easier because this was a smaller show. Like, I will give him a bit of credit, as in the sense of like being a 50,000 outdoor festival, it would be more difficult for him to know. But the fact that there was 40 minutes that elapsed between the declaration and when the show was stopped, he knew before that.
I'm not giving him credit. This
Okay.
ain't like a situation where everyone's in the crowd and he can't specifically see what's happening because there's 50,000 people. This is a situation where people are trying to get a hold of security, trying to get a hold of crew members, trying to get a hold of him, doing so much as jumping up on fucking on the stage, going on top of ambulances. But I mean, from the videos that I've seen, the people on top of the ambulances weren't even trying to get help.
No,
they were just like dancing.
They were trying to party.
And
yeah,
exactly.
They were trying to party.
And but I mean, you have so many people trying to get a hold of the higher ups to make sure this show gets stopped. and these people get attended to so that their lives can be potentially saved in this instant, and nothing's happening.
Yeah. Well, okay, so like I said, I talked about this with you off camera, but there was one instance, like I didn't go to this show, but 2010 Olympics in Vancouver, Alexis on Fire played a free show, and I think there was 3 or 4 people that died for the same reasons. There was just two, they got squished,
Mm-hmm.
and Alexis on Fire stopped the show. Like they played 1.5 songs, and they're like, "Fuck this." But in that sense, I think it would have been easier for them to see. So I'll give them credit for that. That something was going on. But I think that I don't know. I think that just gives credence to the fact of like I think most artists, when they know, they will stop the show. But I don't know. And then the thing is there another thing they're vilifying Travis Scott for is that after the show he went to Buster's with Drake for the after party. Like, I don't know, man.
You see his apology?
I did see his apology.
I can't even call it an apology.
No, and it looked like he was putting on a show.
Oh, 100%.
He was
And
doing
then
like doing like the man, I love my fans.
Feel so sorry for them that I didn't do anything when I was told to do something. There are people that are like, oh, well, he's like trying to give back. He's refunded everyone's tickets. Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, but what I will say is, okay, think of it this way, okay? So in any outdoor festival like that, like your ticket isn't $100. It's a lot, right? Okay, so that's number one. So you have to think of it this way. So, okay, what are you laughing at?
Just continue.
Okay, so what I'm saying is let's say your ticket was $400.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so for him to go ahead and refund everybody at the show, that's a fuckload of money. Okay. So what I'm saying is he deserves some credit for that.
I don't agree.
Why?
Because that's probably not even his decision. That was probably the management's decision first. Second of all, okay, this money has already been paid by these people. This is already in the hands of management. The money that has been made for this concert.
But it's not all going.
Back.
It's not all going to him. It's not all going to him.
That's fantastic. He's a fucking multimillionaire. It don't have to all go to him. But like, this is literally like, I never give credit for people doing the bare minimum ever. I will never give you credit. If you do other shit than that, yeah, for sure, I'll give you credit. But like, if I hear an event happen like this, there are many people, obviously not everyone, by the way, that I've seen videos, but there are many people that went to that event that are now fully fucking traumatized because they've been at an event where 9 people were killed. Many others were injured. Many others were sent to the hospital.
A 14-year-old died.
A 9-year-old was sent to the hospital and was in the hospital. Yeah, their youngest was, I think, 14 that died.
Yeah.
But the youngest that was sent to the hospital was 9. Like, if you were at that event, even if you're remotely close to these people, that's fucking traumatizing. Like, yeah, if it's $400, that ain't gonna do shit. Like, you literally went to this event, and like, think of like the timing of this event too. Like, we've literally been like sequestered for like what, over a year and a half now. Mm-hmm. And like, this is kind of like, we're going back into these things. Many people are being excited because isn't Astroworld the name of his album?
I don't know. I don't listen to shitty music.
I don't listen to shitty music either. I just saw it on the fucking.
But okay, but first, we're in Texas. Were they ever really sequestered?
Oh,
full T.
T. But I mean, still, it's just like, I guarantee you, and I mean, I guarantee you, there's a lot of people that came from out of state to go to this concert.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So like, they're like looking forward to it, really excited. But like, this happens. Like, I don't give credit to bare minimum. I don't know. I'm not that type of person.
I understand what you're saying, but I think that like, I look at things in a more micro sense. Like, I look at actions in like individual sense. So if you did like a 1% thing right, like, I'll give you credit for that. Like, yeah, because you deserve credit for that. I'm not going to look at the whole thing and be like, well, you fucked it up.
I think in certain situations I'll do that, but like, this is huge. Like, this is a situation that cost 9 people's lives, and like, especially when there are sources coming out saying that his management team had a heads up days before this concert even happened.
Yeah, see, and I never, I'm not saying that's incorrect, but I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds believable, by the way, that like that security guard quit because he was unprepared.
Yeah,
that fully sounds believable. And it's
Yeah.
just like, it's so like,
So I
I don't
never
know.
okay, another thing I wanted to bring up is I heard this through word of mouth, but I went looking for this when I was researching, but I couldn't find it. Did
Hmm.
you hear the rumor that like people were being like shot up with drugs?
I mean,
Did you
it's a
hear?
festival, so that's not
No, but like
believable.
against their like not by themselves. Like when they were like people would do it to other people. Like you hear about that? I heard a rumor that there was a security guard. They had to inject him with Norcan because he OD'd.
Do you want to hear a story?
Okay.
So this isn't my story. This is a story that comes from somebody who I've talked to before. And so, what's the festival that's in like Kamloops?
Well, there
Well,
used to be
not.
like
I don't think
Merit,
it's Sundance.
Merit,
Uh,
Merit Mountain Music Festival,
no. It starts with an S.
Shambhala.
It might be that. Yeah, it might be that. So, they went to this festival, or maybe one of their friends did, and they went with another friend. And so they were there, and all of a sudden, like, they were obviously like smoking weed, getting drunk, and whatever. And they couldn't really remember what happened for most of the night. But they woke up the next morning and they saw a needle was in their leg.
Holy
And
fuck!
so they looked at the needle, and on this needle was a little like piece of paper, and
You
it
have
said,
AIDS.
"Welcome to the world of HIV."
Yeah.
And she went and got tested, and she had HIV.
Holy fuck.
So like, this isn't like that sounds believable to happen at a festival. I will not go to festivals. Like, I don't know. I'm not the type of person to go to festivals, but like for reasons that could happen to me, I'm not doing that.
Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, so two things. So I've never been to a festival either. I was supposed to go to one in 2020, which obviously didn't happen.
Yeah.
But the thing is okay, so here's the problem with stuff like that. And I'm not saying this happened to the person that you're telling the story about, but a lot of the time when people go to music festival, it's not about the music, it's about a contest of how fucked up can I get.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And it's like literally like I've heard a story about somebody who like almost died, but they wore it as a badge of honor. And like I think that if that's the attitude you approach it with, then yeah, like you're susceptible to stuff like that happening, right?
Hmm.
So like I think that if you put yourself in certain situations, then yes, you're at risk with a large group of people like that. Like you only need to look at Woodstock 94. Like you
Yeah.
ever hear about Woodstock 94? How
I've
fucked up
heard.
it is?
Yeah, I've heard a bit about it.
Like it's so fucked. And yeah, so I think that I mean obviously there's always a risk of something like that
Yeah.
happening.
But yeah, it's just that type of like environment. I'm not comfortable in any way, shape, or form. So no, I probably will never go to a festival in my life. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really.
Sorry,
What
I
do you?
actually think it was Woodstock. It might have been Woodstock 99. But anyways, go
It
on.
was some '90s year. I remember that. But what do you think is gonna happen? Apparently, Drake's getting sued.
Yeah, he was named in the lawsuit.
I'm assuming against Travis Scott, or who's it
No,
against?
no,
The
like
festival?
no. So like so these people that sued Travis Scott, they named the festival and they named Drake in it as well.
Okay.
Because Drake, I didn't get the full context, but like one of the videos I watched, it was a timeline of events, and Drake took the stage at like 9:50, but then the concert ended at 10 like 11 or whatever. But it said that Travis Scott was still on stage at 10:11, so I don't know if they were both on stage for a while. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Uh, I mean, I wasn't really familiar with Isn't he like Kylie Jenner's baby daddy?
Yeah, apparently they were there. Kylie was there, Kendall was there. Yeah.
Hmm.
Apparently they didn't know this, but like they were posting Instagram stories like after it had been declared like a mass casualty event, like kind of like showing like that we're here. Um, but they didn't know.
Interesting.
They I don't remember it exactly, but I remember that Kylie basically posted on social media exactly what Travis Scott did. But Kendall like made her own, which has actually seemed quite heartfelt.
Hmm. I don't I like I no T I don't like the Kardashians or the Jenners, so I don't
Well,
really give a fuck about them.
I mean, neither do I. But again, I'll give credit where credit's due.
Yeah. Is there anything to even go over about this? Like that we haven't yet?
I don't think so. I think it's just going to be interesting to see how the lawsuits unfold. I think that they're gonna settle.
Oh,
There's no
absolutely.
way this goes to trial.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this one Vulture article
Yeah.
has like the 14-year-old that was a ninth grader at Houston's Memorial High School that passed away. And then they have a question that says, "Was there someone in the crowd injecting people with drugs?"
Yeah, yeah. And also, did you hear that 14-year-old? The reason that that the 14-year-old like was in this group is because the father had already passed out. Like the person was there with their dad, and the dad
That's
had like
sad.
passed out. Yeah.
That is really sad. Yeah, see, there was a 21-year-old had traveled from Washington State to attend.
Wow, they flew in from Washington.
Yeah, that's the 27-year-old died while trying to protect his fiance who survived. That's fucking sad.
Yeah, that is sad.
Yeah, that. Good lord.
I just couldn't imagine like going to a concert and like not coming back, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that holy shit. I mean, it's not even something that you think about even. Like a lot like the reason that I don't really go to festivals is like the potential of, you know, being drugged or like taken advantage of or like, you know, like getting too drunk or and blacking out or whatever. Like I never really consider death as like a thing to think about. It's always like anything but, which
Yeah.
is like hella fucking scary. But yeah, so I guess a 22-year-old who had been critical condition for days after the festival died on the evening of November 10th. Her family's attorney announced November 11th. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Yeah, that is. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen with the conclusion of this case, but Jesus.
You want to go into to Bannon?
Let's do Little Miss Steve Bannon.
Okay, so I'm stoked for this one because we haven't talked about the insurrection at all.
Not at all.
So, okay, a little bit of a rundown. So, Steve Bannon was Trump's was his secretary?
What was it? So this is what it says. I hate using this. Actually, no, I'm gonna look at the. So this is according to the New York Times and Politico. It says he's an American media executive, political strategist, and former investment banker who served as the White House's chief strategist in the administration of Donald Trump during the first 7 months.
Yes. So in my opinion, because of this book I read early on when Trump was elected, Steve Bannon was one of the main reasons that Trump got in. He was very good at what he did. So basically the Congress had sent a subpoena not only to Steve Bannon, but to a number of Trump's aides for documents and also to appear in front of Congress to be questioned about the January 6th insurrection. So Trump has ordered all of his aides to basically stonewall Congress because he's saying that his conversations with them are covered under executive privilege. Okay. So, which is BS because even I heard Barack Obama talk about this and he's saying that there's two reasons why this is BS. One, they weren't even employed by the White House at that point. Second, executive privilege cannot be used to sort of like hide crimes.
Yeah.
Like you can't use it that way. So they all listened to Trump, and now Congress is wanting to make an example of Steve Bannon. They've indicted him for contempt of Congress, and he's supposed to surrender to them tomorrow. So how wild do you think Steve Bannon's weekend's going to be?
Oh,
holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. He fucks.
He's going to party like it's fucking 1999.
100%. I mean, how old is he? He's 67.
He looks older.
Oh, it's almost his birthday. Nice little early birthday gift. His birthday's November 27th.
The main reason they wanted to question him, did you see the stuff he was saying like the day before the insurrection?
No.
So he was on like, this is the main reason they want him to appear. So he was on, I saw it. It was on like, it was like a Fox News podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And he was basically saying like, you wait till tomorrow. Like, we are not letting this election be decertified. We're going to change the system. Like, it was like fucking fighting words.
Yeah, apparently, like, he wanted to behead Anthony Fauci and,
Did he?
like, Christopher Wray. No, thank you. Um, but yeah, he, like, his Twitter account was suspended in, like, when was this? November 2020. His Bannon's Twitter account was permanently suspended after he suggested that top government infectious disease expert Anthony Fauci and FBI Director Christopher Wray should be beheaded. Shocking. But yeah, and then there's in August 2020, Bannon and 3 others were arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit mail fraud and money laundering in connection to the We Build the Wall campaign. That doesn't sound Republican at all. I don't know what this is. Fake news, bitch. Oh, here we go. So in connection to this money laundering thing in August 2020, it said the defendants allegedly enriched themselves despite promising that all contributions would go to building a wall. Bannon pleaded not guilty and was pardoned by Trump before his trial date.
Yes, he was pardoned by Trump right before, and apparently Trump also believes that his privilege, his pardoning is like cumulative or recurring. Like he thinks that it's currency now. Like I don't know, he's just making up all of these laws. They're like Trump, bitch. Like that only applies to that crime. Is fucked.
Is this really shocking though? This is the same person that thought that Mexico was going to be the ones that build the wall. And then a month after he's fucking in office, he found out that couldn't be a fucking thing.
Apparently Bannon and Trump are still spouting off that Trump's the actual president. Like now, like my still. God.
Well, I mean, yeah, that sounds Republican. But, oh, that's so funny. Oh, after leaving the White House, Bannon opposed the Republican Party establishment and supported insurgent candidates in Republican primary elections. Sounds like him.
I saw an interview that that Trump was doing with somebody, and they said, like, at any point during the insurrection, were you afraid for Mike Pence? They were saying hang Mike Pence or whatever they were saying. He's like, no. I had contacts. I knew he was fine. And they're like, so you weren't worried about him at all? He's like, no. He's like, you know, if he wanted to do the right thing, he shouldn't have been certifying a fraudulent election. So he was kind of like, well, he deserved it, kind of.
That's so fucking funny. It's funny. So they were I saw this interview with like Trump supporters, and this lady was like, yeah, it's like a fraudulent election. And then this guy like asked what about it was fraudulent. And then she was like, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, I would know. I committed voter fraud too. And then he was like, well, what'd you do? She's like, I voted twice and I had to spend 8 months in jail. And then the guy's like, why are you here? Like, what? Why would you admit that's a thing that you have done in the past? And you're like at a protest against it when it doesn't and didn't happen. But yeah, you mentioned you wanted to go into the insurrection. What would you want to talk about?
I don't know.
You want to talk about how Antifa did it? It was all Antifa, bitch.
Yes, I want to talk about how Antifa did it.
But I still find it so fucking funny that there are Republicans that still think that. So fucking comical, dude. So funny.
Okay, but do you actually think Republicans think that? I don't think that they actually think that.
Oh, absolutely. I think that there are some of them that just fall in line because they like want to be Republican. But I think there are absolutely some that think that is actually what happened.
I personally just think Republicans lie through their teeth all the time. I think they're not like entirely fucking dumb.
Some of them maybe. I don't know. Anytime like somebody uses like stupidity for political gain, I think you're a fucking disgrace to humanity.
Well, I think all politicians do that to a particular sense.
Yeah, I just think that it's heavily amplified with Republicans.
Yeah, but like I don't know if you'll identify with this, but like when I was looking this stuff up last night about the Bannon and the insurrection, like I still have like, even though it's been like 5 years since Trump's elected, like, and the fraudulent election and the insurrection, like I still have like this existential crisis when I'm looking at this stuff. Like I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like I cannot believe that we are here.
Yeah.
Like when he was elected, I was saying that like bad shit's gonna happen. Like this is gonna go sideways. I cannot believe how sideways it's gone. Like I can't believe how transported to like medieval times that like our social and political systems have become.
Yeah.
Like it's dumbfounding.
Yeah, I remember January 6th reading everything that was happening and like seeing videos on Twitter and like YouTube and stuff, and I was like, what's going on? Like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, what is this? And it's so funny. Oh my god. So this one interview with the Republican was like, yeah, this was all Antifa, blah blah blah, and then the guy was like, were you there? And he was like, yeah, we were breaking in. And it's just so fucking funny, dude. How many people died that day? I know a cop died. I know multiple other civilians died.
Yeah, I think it was 2 or 3.
Let me look it up. Hold on. Come on, mouse, work with me. How many people died on January 6th? 5.
Mm. Do you think Bannon's going to get the book thrown at him? Like, you think he's going to serve prison time?
I hope so.
I hope so too. I think he'll probably get off with like house arrest, 12 months probation.
Yeah.
But they're saying they want to make an example of him. They're saying that these people, they want to show them that they can't just stonewall Congress when they're being subpoenaed.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. All I can do really is just hope that it will result in that, but I don't know if it's going to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like even like the fact that like okay, like this is the most disturbing thing to me to occur during the whole Trump regime is the fact that of the whole like I lost the election, so now I'm gonna try to like discredit it. Like that is like that's super fucked up. Like that's like I'm trying to find like a historical example of like that happening.
I found one.
Okay.
When I wasn't nominated for Best Personality. But like full T, I wasn't nominated for Best. Okay, this is just, I'm going to call it out because I'm going to call it out. And I'm going to call it out because I'm fucking right in this and everyone knows that I am. So if y'all don't know, many high schools do like a grade 12, like best like car. And it's like there's a guy and a girl that gets nominated for it. And so it's like best smile, most changed since grade 8. Or whatever. And then there was best personality. I don't know how to like explain this in a way that's not rude, but the guy that won, baby, no. I literally like I was the only fucking person in that grad class with a dash of seasoning. The only person. I was the only person that could keep a fucking like conversation going with laughter. I was like, y'all, if y'all saw my grad class, y'all wouldn't even question anything about it. There was no competition. You can't compare when you do not compete. And
are you really blasting your entire grad class?
Period. No, not my entire grad class. The guys. And whoever was in charge of yearbook that year. Also, I hope y'all be listening to this motherfucking podcast, whoever was in charge of yearbook and making those decisions, because y'all dumb as fuck. Dumb as fuck. Anyway.
You know the only way I could see you winning that?
Is if I was straight?
No.
Is if I was what?
As if you were competing against a Rock.
Competing against the Rock? Dwayne the Rock Johnson? Really? You think I have a better personality?
A Rock.
You think I have a better personality than Dwayne the Rock Johnson? Bitch, that's a compliment. I mean, are you kidding me? He's really good on the mic. I don't know. That's a compliment. That's a compliment.
Shout out to the WWE Attitude Era.
Period. But no, so one of my really close friends, like she won for best personality. She was the female winner. And the male winner, I wasn't nominated, by the way. I can't remember who the other person was that was nominated alongside. But the male winner threw up in a fucking 7-Eleven.
That's personality.
That's not personality.
That sounds like somebody I'd get along with in high
school. The male winner got drunk and literally got a Slurpee and just threw up in a 7-Eleven around Christmas time, so that when we were fucking going around collecting money for like we did this really funny thing. We did like we went around with like a group of us and we caroled because we were like, you know what, let's see if we can raise any money for charity, which we did. And we went into the 7-Eleven to grab some Slurpees. This was like 9 p.m. and we just walk in, we're like, what the fuck's that smell? And we turn to our left and there's literally throw up on the fucking ground. We're like, okay. And then I'm like,
okay, look at me. For those of you listening, I'm really
Jordan, I don't think this is a fair
I'm really close to the camera right now for those of you who are listening, because
Jesus.
I'm gonna say,
All right, everyone looking on YouTube, count his wrinkles. Sorry,
you're
go
such
ahead.
a bitch. Anyways, this person who threw up in the 7-Eleven, I would be best friends with you.
That's not a good case for him having a good personality, Jordan. But no, okay. And also with this whole yearbook class, so I guess there was they were like trying to figure out what picture to have. I don't know if this was going to be on the cover or like when you first open the book and there's like kind of like a picture kind of on like the first page or whatever. But it was like the first picture that people would see if they got their yearbook. And it was a picture of me and somebody else from the one of our pep rallies. So we had like, you know, like a bunch of face paint on, and it was a really good picture. It was really cute. I think I still have it. And so one of the people in yearbook, they were like, yeah, I actually chose this for the picture. And I was like, that's so sweet. Like, thank you. This is such a cute photo. And then all of a sudden she comes to me and she's like, you might be pissed off. And I'm just like, wait, what happened? She's like, well, you're going to find out like at the end of the year and you're going to be disappointed. So I might as well just be real with you. Like 2 people in our class decided that this wouldn't be the best idea because they don't want to promote anything bad. I'm just like, what does that mean? And they were like, well, they know that you're gay. I was like, I'm sorry. Do I have a dildo on my fucking forehead of this photo? Like, this is a photo of me at a pep rally.
Yeah, you told me about this off camera. That's super fucked.
Like, what the fuck? And she's like, I tried to argue it, but like the teacher agreed with her.
But okay, so but what I'm saying is, could you imagine like if Trudeau, who won the election, was now spouting off being like, oh no, they counted mail-in ballots after the deadline and this and that, like,
Which is what you're supposed to do. Sorry.
sorry, not Trudeau, but O'Toole was like doing.
Oh,
which is,
yeah.
which actually makes it more believable, to be honest. Sorry, I had to say that.
I know. I was like, wait, Trudeau, he won the, he won.
Yeah, but if he was going around being like, yeah, they put these ballots in after, and like all these reasons, and like these people were actually not registered voters, and like I'm the actual prime minister, like that's fucked. That's like something that would happen in like 1500.
Yeah, I remember them in like Pennsylvania. They were like, we were up by like 500,000 votes, and then we woke up the next morning and they were beating us by 200,000. I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of how mail-in voting works.
And you know what's funny is you called that because remember, like on the night of the election, you were like, what do you think's going to happen in Pennsylvania? I'm like, I was like, Democrats are going to lose. You're like, no, they're not.
Yeah, I went off of like trends. So when we were talking about that, I think there was like 1.5 million votes still left to be read or something like that. And I was like, okay, so they need, it was like, I think it was like 78% of votes for like Biden to take over and win. And so the way that the rate that it was is that mail-ins were, I think it was like an 83 or 84% to like a 17% differential for Joe Biden.
Which
so
is
like,
wild.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, that looks like it's going to go Biden's way. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is going to be it's obviously not like a landslide or like a runaway state. This is still very close. But I was like, the way that the trends are going, it looks like Biden's going to win. And so then he did. Same with Georgia party. Same with Arizona. Arizona was, what do you think was the most shocking state? I think Arizona.
I don't think it was like the most shocking result, but I think that the fact that they didn't declare Alaska for so long was like the most shocking thing to happen in the whole election.
66 to 34 for like the longest time.
And it was like the states remaining were like Arizona, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Alaska. And it's like, what the, just call, like before they vote, just call Alaska. Just call it.
Yeah. But yeah, Arizona was definitely the most shocking for me. I mean, they haven't been they haven't been blue in like, what was it, like 20, 24 years. And so I was like, this is all right. This is definitely tea. But I was obviously happy with the results. I wish there was a different candidate for the Democrats, but I wish it was Bernie.
Yeah, I think Bernie has enemies on both sides.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, he is an independent.
What do you mean?
Bernie, he's an independent. Like his political party is independent. He just identifies with the Democrats more.
So like he's not actually like a registered Democrat?
He's an independent.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Well, that could be a big reason why.
I mean, basically everything, like his policies align obviously way more with the Democrats to where he's always voting with them.
But economically, he doesn't align with the Democrats or the Republicans.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like he scares both economically, like a lot. because they're like his social programs are so strong,
I guess.
so strong.
So obviously you know who AOC is, right?
Yep.
So she is doing like debates with her opponent for like her reelection, and so like I'm actually very impressed with the way that the style that she's using to debate. She's kind of like she's very calm when she's talking, and like her opponent literally always talks about her, like will not stop talking about her even in debates. Like that's how you know you're losing. Like talk about the policies that you're going to be putting forward. Talk about how they benefit the area that you're going to be representing. Like it's not difficult. You don't need to talk about somebody else when you're because like your campaign is not about them. When you beat them, they have nothing to do with that campaign. Or sorry,
So
yeah, they have nothing to do with your campaign when you beat them or if you beat them.
so like won't stop talking about them, like in the sense of like won't stop attacking them
Yes.
personally. Okay.
And so it's like if you are to win this, which I don't think you will, but if you are to win this, you're like she has nothing to do with you moving forward. It doesn't make any sense for you to waste time on her. And
Well,
so
I think that this has always been like a case in a lot of politics, but the Republicans have made it more so that they've turned it into like a popularity contest, right?
exactly, which they keep
Where
losing, but
yeah, so it's like so it's not like whose policies are better. It's like who do you like better?
yeah.
Who are like I don't know. I think a lot of the tactics the Republicans use are like fear based. Well, like if you don't elect me, then like the Democrats are going to give away all your money,
If
and
you
like
don't elect me, your dog is gonna die.
yeah, if you don't elect me, that there's going to be like black and gay people running around everywhere.
If you don't elect me, your mom's right nipple is just gonna get significantly larger, and it will not be explained by science. But yeah, I agree. I don't know. I wish, like, I feel like it would be a lot different if the U.S. political system was similar to ours in the way where you have more parties representing, like,
Yes, yes,
the people
and
instead of just a bi-party, like, sorry, a
and
bipartisan system.
that's the major criticism of their system is it's like people are like, well, okay, like they might have different political ideologies on the surface, but really you're just voting for like two different old white rich men, like
Exactly.
right. So I agree with that, but I think that like in a sense, like are there like I think there are other parties, just none of them have any relevance. Well, hopefully soon that might change because isn't the Patriot Party or whatever you're gonna call it coming soon?
Yeah, I guess so. That's gonna be fucking funny. That's just
Right.
gonna divide the Republican vote and make it easier for Democrats to win. But I'm all for it.
Trump's been so quiet lately though. Hey, like I'm really surprised.
Thank God.
Like he's just like in the background doing whatever the fuck he does,
Not
eating Big
making any more
Macs,
fucking speeches at weddings about how he lost the fucking election fraudulently.
eating Big Macs, drinking Diet Cokes, crashing
Spray tanning,
weddings. Yeah, yeah.
dyeing his hair, or sorry,
Toupee
dyeing his wig.
shopping. Yeah,
Exactly.
all that good stuff. Man, I hope
I
I
love.
got it as good as him when
I
I'm.
love. I don't.
That was sarcasm,
Oh,
the dummy.
I mean, I would love the money. That's the only part I would about his life that I would love. Not his. Have you seen his dance moves?
No.
He like just shifts in and out. It looks like he's just trying to squeeze out a 2-time shit. It's really fucking weird. But I love how this is stemmed from Steve Bannon
To just bashing
to
Trump.
just completely bashing U.S. politics.
We're not bashing. We're not completely bashing U.S. politics.
We should be.
We're just critiquing it.
um, is there what? Well, what else is there to talk about Bannon?
Well, Bannon. I mean, I don't know. I think. I hope Trump. I honestly do. I hope that Trump takes care of Bannon because he's been very loyal. Like, I hope he gets something for this for being so loyal to Trump.
Like what? A gold star?
I think he's probably giving him a shitload of money for this,
Oh yeah,
especially if he goes to prison.
yeah, most likely.
Because remember, he was unceremoniously fired 7 months into his tenure, and I was shocked. It was like Steve Bannon's been fired. Like that's when Trump was firing everybody from his cabinet. Remember when he got rid of like the what do they call the person that speaks to the media, the press secretary?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he fired her, I mean, she was pretty horrible.
Who, Kaylee or whatever the fuck her name
Yeah,
is?
yeah, yeah.
Or no, wait, was it Kaylee or Sarah Huckabee Sanders?
I don't know. I was just gonna say yeah to whatever you said.
Wow.
I don't know her name.
I mean,
I just know she was dumb.
I remember Sanders was because she quit and then she was like kicked out of a restaurant because they were like, we don't want to serve you. And then she's like, this is discrimination and segregation, and I don't appreciate this at all. And I'm just like, sweetheart, why? Like, why, bitch? Like, this was the same shit you were advocating for when the Colorado fucking baker didn't want to serve a gay couple. So shut the fuck up.
Wait, she was advocating for
She
it?
defended it. She's like, yeah, it's
Oh.
their business is right. Which, I mean, technically it is. Actually, wait. Take that back. I was watching an episode of The Good Wife, I think it was. And they were talking about instances like this where if it's because the guy tried using like, well, it's not tried using, he used, and effectively apparently because he got away with it. He used like religious exemptions. He was like, I can't serve you because of my religion. But if your religion causes discrimination against a group of people, then that's not a thing. But that's a law that's in California, which should be a law across the fucking U.S.
I'm surprised it's not a law in Colorado.
I don't think it's a law. Yeah, I don't think it's a law in Colorado.
It's a pretty left state.
Or I mean, maybe it is, and the Supreme Court just overruled it because fucking Roe v. Wade was an implemented system that has been overruled. So
Wait, where Roe v. Wade hasn't been like officially overruled.
well,
Yet.
I mean, I would call that overruled in Texas.
No, but it's still a legal precedent. Like, I mean, I see what you're saying, but it's still illegal. That's the next step. Apparently, Texas is going to take. But Roe v. Wade is still valid.
I mean, I wouldn't even call that valid then. That's completely going against Roe v. Wade if that's a legal practice in Texas. Even if you have like certain like no, I wouldn't really. Yeah, I wouldn't really call that. And like there's also like many Republican states wanting to adapt the practice.
I've already heard like right-wing political commentators like discrediting Roe v. Wade, saying that like because you know how it's like the whole reason that law stands is because it's like a woman's right to privacy was being violated.
Mm-hmm.
So they're attacking that. They're saying how is privacy, like how is it not abiding to their right for privacy by denying abortion? Like they're already starting to like put that rhetoric out there.
Oh, good Lord. But what have we even talked about with Steve Bannon?
Well, I mean, we laid it out and we like asked what we thought would happen. And I mean, what do we have for runtime?
I hope he rots in prison. We're at an hour 30.
Yeah, we should probably bump the last one next week.
Again.
For the third week in a row.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's fucking old and white. I don't even think he's gonna get any jail time.
You don't think he's gonna get any jail time? They're trying to make an example of him. So if they don't, then people are gonna keep stonewalling Congress. But I don't know what is like for contempt of Congress. Like what is the sentence? It can't be a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to see.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, like, think, is there anything else we should go over with him? He's the first person that has,
first contempt of Congress charge.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, first person indicted for contempt of Congress.
Yeah, we talked about
he was indicted by a federal grand jury on 2 criminal contempt charges on November 12th, 2021, 2 days ago.
I think we've gone over everything we're going to do with Steve Bannon that we can.
Yeah.
Should we do the of the week
of the session, Jordan?
Of the session.
My goodness.
I got a good one.
Okay, what is that?
It's not like generally like I was thinking about this a few minutes ago. It's not like kind of like exactly the same format we've been doing.
Okay.
But what do you hope is under the Christmas tree on Christmas Day?
Oh my God. How many things are we choosing?
1.
Let's do 2.
Okay, fine. You can do 2.
No, you're doing 2 as well.
Okay,
because
fine. I'll do 2.
We normally do like of the currently and then of all time. So,
okay, fine. Let's do this then. Let's do what do you hope is under the Christmas tree on Christmas Day, and what was your favorite gift of all time?
Oh, party. Okay. I mean, if you have something, you can go. I'm trying to think.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
So this year, I hope a large amount of money is under the Christmas tree, so I could not be a broke millennial. And then my favorite gift of all time. Um, Man, that's tough. Okay, I got it. So when I was really young. This is when like Nintendo 64 was out, and my dad didn't. I really wanted it, and my dad didn't want to buy it for me because he said that video games were a waste of time, and he was like, "You're not getting it. Like you're not getting it. You're not getting it. Go play outside. You're not getting it." And I guess what happened is they were at their company Christmas party, and my dad won the grand prize, which was a Nintendo 64. And so there was an N64 under the Christmas tree, and I was like so convinced I wasn't getting it.
Love that. That's cute.
Right?
What do I hope is under the tree? Okay, like I mean, I'm probably a similar bitch where I'm like money, but also like this is a pure wish because if I want this, I'm gonna have to get this for myself. But a new PC, just because like the specs that I want, they're a lot of fucking money because like I obviously stream as much as I can and I do a lot of shit on my PC. And if I want to do that, I need really good specs. So like a
What do you want? A
really
good video card?
I want like a good GPU, a good video card, a nice like storage system. I have like a 1 terabyte right now, but I want to get another one. Like a good mother, like a good everything. And basically that's probably about 5 grand.
A 5 grand desktop?
Well, like what's this thing called?
Like a tower?
Yes, like
Holy shit.
setup.
You can build like a really good computer for like $1,100. 5 grand? Okay.
Because like the shit that like is advertised for you to get so that you can have really good FPS, really good ping, connection to servers, that shit is like that's like $800 a piece.
I hope you realize it's most important is your graphics card,
Mhm.
right? Like
Oh
even more
yeah,
so than processor speed.
yep, 100%. Yeah, those
Yeah.
things like they're fucking expensive. Like if you want a really good one.
Yeah, like a good video card's like $1 grand.
But the best gift of all time. Oh, that's a really good question. Hmm. I mean, honestly, like as shallow it is to say, like maybe like my phone or like a TV. But I mean, well, you said an N64, so
You got a TV for Christmas?
yeah.
God damn.
Um, that or like I don't know. Like I mean, an Xbox One I got with like Connect, or no, it was an Xbox 360 with Connect, and then like I don't know if we got our PS3 around Christmas time, probably, but that too, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, that's probably of what I can think of right now. That's probably what I would say. So mine, I remember the first time we did the episode, we put out our favorite songs. Remember? I
Yeah.
said Violet by Wild Party, and then you said something.
Uh,
Um,
uh, yeah, I said Far From Heaven by Fit for an Autopsy.
yes, that's what you did. So we're gonna do favorite, like current favorite singer, and then favorite singer of all time. This can be a band as well, because I know
Okay.
you like your bands.
Okay, you go first because I gotta think.
Okay. Let me go through. I'm trying to like scope of like who I can go through.
I gotta open up my Spotify for this.
I think I should too. I mean, if you want, you could do singer and band.
No, that's even harder. This is like choosing which one of my kids I like best.
You don't have
I
any
mean,
kids.
obviously the straight one.
You don't have any kids. Oh my god! Wow, you should come in our family. They think so much alike.
Jesus.
Current favorite. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. I would probably have to say like Olivia Rodrigo, or for those of you who watched The Voice this season, Wendy Moten, who is so fucking good. I would probably say between them, or even like Cimarelli. Cimarelli is like a really solid option. That's what I can think of like current right now. That's who I kind of listen to the most. I'm interested to see like when the Spotify year end thing comes out, who's like my top listen to singer and then my song. Oh, well, I already said song. This is gonna be Forever by the Veronicas.
The year wrapped up. It's coming soon, eh? They
I know.
teased it a few days ago.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
But
So, oh, you're not done. Go
oh,
ahead.
sorry. Yeah, so those are my all-time favorite singer. That's fucking hard. I'd probably have to go along the lines of like Kelly Clarkson, Sia, or like Imagine Dragons. I feel like those are 3 really good options. Yeah, those are probably. And Kelly Clarkson she's so fucking good live. Like, she's so good. She's like endlessly good.
I had this debate with my dad. Who is the most successful person to come off of American Idol?
Kelly Clarkson.
Correct. My dad believes it's Carrie Underwood.
No. Like, Carrie Underwood's a very close second. Or, well, I wouldn't even know if she's a second because, like, Jennifer Hudson. I mean, I guess she would be the second in terms of, like, winners. Non-winners would immediately be Jennifer Hudson. Without a shadow of a doubt. Okay. I think Jennifer Hudson has one of my favorite voices in the world. She's so fucking versatile, and she's just endlessly good.
You know who I think had a good voice but didn't really do anything was Ruben Studdard.
Yeah. Didn't he win?
He won, and he had a Christmas album, and that was really it.
Yeah. I remember, like, Chris Daughtry.
Yeah, Chris Daughtry is one of the most successful non-winners.
He's so good. Actually, yeah, Daughtry might be one of my top for all-time favorite bands. But yeah, I like. So Jennifer Hudson was in the movie Cats, the live-action movie Cats. I haven't seen it, but she was the one that covered Memory, and I love that song. And she did a live version on The Voice. Holy fuck, it was so good. And then Wendy Moten did a live version of Ain't No Way by Aretha Franklin. I love that fucking song, dude. Holy fuck. But yeah, sorry, you can go ahead with your options.
So favorite all time, that's tough, but I'll have to say either Metallica or Killswitch Engage. Current favorite, I've been listening to a lot of a band called Don Broco. They're coming here in April. They're like, I don't know, it's kind of like a mix between like joke rock and like dancey, like almost like techno rock. It's really, really catchy.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't have like a long story relating to either, but those are my answers.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that like it's best for us to have like a story of why. Yeah, I wouldn't really even know why. I remember I had an iPod, and I would listen to a lot of Kelly Clarkson on the iPod. Like Behind These Hazel Eyes is my favorite Kelly Clarkson song by far. That song is fucking amazing. But Heartbeat song's really good. Breakaway is really good. Yeah, she just has like a lot of really fucking good songs. Stronger is really good. But yeah, I feel like they're just like, I don't know. I just listen to these people when I got time off and I want to jam out to music, and I'll listen to them. Period. But Britney Spears is officially free from her.
I saw that. That's dope.
Conservatorship. Yeah, thank God. After 14 years. Jesus Christ. Free Britney has reigned supreme. We love you, Britney. Love you. But yeah, I'm really happy for her.
Okay, should we sign out? Should we sign out?
Yeah. Yeah, we can.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll be back again with another episode next week.
Hopefully talking about the thing that we have put off for like 3 weeks now.
Have a good morning, afternoon, or night.
Wherever you are. All right.
Okay,
catch you next week. Bye.